Is college hockey for you? And that's a question that unfortunately kids have to get asked at a young age, whether they're 13, 14, 15, sometimes 16, because that's when the major junior draft happens. However, this could be changing in the future, but before we get into that, let's get into the major question of, is college hockey for you? Now, there's a lot of factors that go into that decision. The type of player you are, what your goals are with hockey, what your goals are with life, the background you have, what kind of a student you are. These are all major points that need to be considered when you're talking about if college hockey is the right fit for you. And if you're a top tier hockey player, when I say top, I mean clearly a dominant hockey player, not those kids who think that they're top tier, because we all know there's plenty of them, and there's plenty of parents who believe their kid is a top tier player and he's not. Anyways, if you are that kid and your goal is to play in the NHL, well, either way you can do it. Go to OHL, USHL, WHL, QMJHL, or play 16, 17s and go to college as a true freshman at 18. Like, both ways are completely doable. You look at a guy like Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes could have committed D1 anywhere he wanted. He decided to just play as USNTDP and go straight to the NHL, and it worked. Some guys like Cole Caulfield, great hockey players, drafted, they go to college and then go pro. He could have done the same thing, play major juniors. He didn't play 4 years of college, and he was in the NHL before he was done his junior age. So that would have been a doable thing for him too. But for the lower end guys, the guys that have a chance of playing pro in the future, that could potentially hit that level of play that they make it, but they're not sure whether they want to go through juniors and then straight to pros, or juniors, college, and then pros. That's where the decision becomes tougher. And there's multiple factors you need to look into. First is what you want to do with your life, right? The percentage of people that play in the NHL is super low. 1%, less than 1%, to be honest with you. Those guys, 90% of them will make enough money that they'll never have to work a day in their life. They choose to, or they may have to, depending on the lifestyle they had, but most of them will make money that all of us dream of making. For those who try to make this dream come true and end up playing in the minors for 8-9 years, yes, you make very good money when you're playing the American League, depending on your contract, depending two-way, one-way, all kinds of stuff. You could make very good money. You still need to work after. You still need a job. What do you want to do, right? If you want to work construction, get your real estate license, learn a trade, or be a cop or a fireman, or a bunch of different careers where you don't need a university degree that still make great livings, take care of your family, and very respectable careers, then maybe you go the junior route and you go straight to the pros and you fight your way up from the minors, because you don't need a university degree and you didn't want it. For those who are considering law school, finance degrees, being doctors, they come from families where that's kind of tradition in the family, or you've always been interested in the medical industry. Whatever it may be that you need a university degree, maybe going to college is the right way. Maybe taking that step and looking of, I know I was drafted second round in major juniors, but I really want the diploma. Let me go junior A, let me play and then get my degree. Again, you'll have that piece of paper that allows you to chase that secondary dream you had, because for most of you, hockey is the first dream and the school part, the career part, is dream number 2, and that's fine. And you're still living out everything you wanted. You're still getting a great chance at the pros. If you look at player signings, most of them happen out of college nowadays rather than juniors. So you get the best of both worlds. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, if you go major juniors, you play till 20, they pay for your Canadian school. Now, you have to remember that you need to play till 20, because you get a certain amount of money for every year you're in the league. And for you to get a full Canadian education, you got to be there for technically 16 to 20, but 17 to 20. A lot of guys don't play 17 to 20. If they came in at 17, top guys will play till 20. Middle guys, 19, 20 is when some of them make it, some of them don't, because there's a limit to the amount of 20-year-olds on every roster. And those that weren't great, they don't make it, so they don't get the full Canadian education. You get a decent amount, you get something, but you don't get the full amount. And when they're done their major junior career and they haven't gone to school, they haven't taken classes, they haven't done any of that, well then, do they really want to go back to school? It's rough. Whereas when you're playing junior A and your goal is to play college hockey, you're still school-minded. You're always set on, I'm going back to school. I'm doing this to go back to school and play college hockey. So the mindset's different, the focus is different, the intentions are different. And this is just some of the small factors, right? There's the financial part as well. Not every D1 guy gets a full scholarship. Can you afford it? Most guys will get close to it, and it's an amount that's reasonable, but if you have to pay, can you afford it? Can you afford the cost of playing junior A those 3-4 years? Not every team is free to play, unfortunately. It used to be that way, but it's not anymore. There's many factors that go into this. You also need to look at the type of lifestyle you want. When you're playing junior hockey, do you want to just be a hockey player? Do you want to be more than that? Or do you want to be a student at the same time? When you're chasing your dream of pros, would you rather start from the bottom, work your way up, or go a different route where your hockey is not your only focus? Because again, school is there. What type of situation you want to be in? Do you want to start getting paid to play hockey at 20 years old? Do you want, I don't want to say mature adult lifestyle, because when you're in the pros, it's a different ballgame. They treat you like a pro. You're a number on a jersey. You are a number on a jersey. It's not the same. And that's how it is in major juniors. You're a number on a jersey. And that's how it is. You're a top guy, you'll be treated like a king. If you're not, you're not going to be treated like a king. When you get to college, yes, the top guys are treated better than the other guys, but there's still that family aspect, that community aspect, that togetherness, right? Now the transfer portal's open, so it's a little different where you can transfer whenever you want. However, prior times it was you chose a school, you were there. You were there for the long haul. Guys weren't getting traded. And of course, all of this is before the big CHL announcement that happened a couple weeks ago, where they're voting on allowing these players into the league. And that will 1000% change the landscape of junior hockey, of recruitment, of all of it, and will make everybody reconsider their junior careers. This part of the video is going to be for you younger players that are maybe deciding whether or not to attend that major junior camp, or you're interviewing with major junior teams this year about the draft, and they're asking you what your goal is. Don't shut that door. Never tell them, no, I'm going to college, especially with the vote coming up, because you're a top player, go play major juniors, then go to college. Get the best of both worlds. Be that top guy all the way through. Because we're talking to colleges already, and they are looking at CHL players. They're preparing in case this does go through. And that's affecting the top tier 2 players. And that will continue to affect them if this vote goes through, and it'll have a drastic effect. So, is college right for you? You might not need to make that decision as soon as you think. If this vote doesn't go through, then you need to start thinking at a young age, what do I want to do? Do I want to go to major juniors? Do I want to go to college? Which one? Pick one. Stick to it, put your head down, and get to work. If this vote does go through and they're allowed, then you only need to figure this out at 19, 20 years old. When you're towards the end of your junior career, do I just want to go to school and get my scholarship and get my degree, or do I want to go pro, start getting paid, and start working my way up? You'll have more time to decide, which would be great, because it's very difficult to make that decision at 14, 15, or 16, but it'll also make getting there that much more difficult, because the player pool for recruitment just got that much bigger. So if you're starting out junior hockey, keep this in the back of your mind. If this vote goes through, maybe it's time to make the jump to major juniors rather than staying in junior A, even if you're in a top league in junior A. Hopefully this helped. It probably raised some questions, some deep thinking for both mom and dad and the players. And if there's any questions or concerns or anything, of course, don't forget to come reach out to us. We're here to help you.